Yeah, love this life. Yeah, love this life. Yeah, love this life. I won't wait around for the curtain fall. Life is not a race, it's all one big show. I can see it now that the truth is told. Feels like letting go. 'Cause I love this life. Yeah, it feels alright. And there's no reason to stop believing. 'Cause I love this life. And the future's bright. And there's no reason to fight this feeling. Yeah, love this life. 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 The future's bright, the future's bright. I feel alright. I love this life. I love this life. Yeah, love this life. Yeah, love this life. Yeah, love this life. 'Cause I love this life. Yeah, it feels alright. And there's no reason to fight this feeling. 'Cause I love this life. Yeah, it feels alright. And the future's bright. Yeah, it feels alright.
What is going on, guys? How are
What
we?
up?
What up? What's up?
Can you guys hear me okay?
Ethan? What's up, Evan? What's going on?
You can hear me okay?
I can hear you fine, dude. How are you?
My original mic died. I
God,
had
it's
to
Fourth
plug
of
it.
July over there.
I don't know. My original mic died. I had to put a lav on, so I was just making sure you guys could hear me.
Yeah, that's great. How'd you do the lav? How'd you set that up?
It's just on my Sony camera, and then I just
nice.
put it on my little magnet here and just going with it.
Sweet. I love it. Well, what's going on? Happy Thursday, everybody. We are back for another live. We're live on Instagram over here. We're live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and YouTube, or Facebook, sorry. And we are here to answer some questions. Today, I kind of want to talk about like mindset and the mindset of getting outside help, and then kind of see where that takes us today. I know that's a thing a lot of people struggle with, is like, some of the mindset stuff around reaching out for help, getting help. I want to talk about that. But as we're talking about that, we'd love if you're on Instagram, if you're on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, drop a comment. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We'd love to know. I'm in Atlanta. Evan is in, you said Houston. Right? Houston. And then Ethan's in Atlanta as well. But we want to answer any questions you guys have. And if you don't know anything about Master Filmmaker, we've worked with 500 video business owners one-to-one at this point and helped thousands of people charge higher prices, put in better systems to get more clients, and so on and so forth. So if you have any questions about scaling your video business, let us know, and we're happy to answer them. Ethan, I love that. What's that new picture behind you? You got some soup up in there?
So it's an Andy Warhol.
There you go.
Wow.
Got it at an estate sale, so I'm waiting on getting it appraised at the moment.
Oh, it's like a legitimate Andy Warhol.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was in the High Museum.
Wow, dude. That's crazy. I love that. That's so cool. But Evan, I'll kick it to you, man. Like, what are some things you see people suffer from or struggle with when it comes to the mindset side of like getting outside help, getting someone to look over their shoulder, helping them with scaling their business? What are some of the things you see?
So for me, I think this is a human trait. in and of itself. It's a psychological things, but we as humans, we don't want to want help,
Yeah.
right? We want to know that we can do it on our own. This past weekend, I spent some time with people who are much further along in their journeys than I am, and it was completely eye-opening to like how people move differently when they're around people that are further along than them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I was with people that were, not as far as I was, but there was millionaires there. So it was like, it's like a complete, it's like when you go to another country and you get like culture shock.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, right?
Mhm.
Like you just get around people that are just doing more than you, and it makes you want to unlock that kind of next level of
Yeah.
what you don't know. But the only way that you can do it is by, it's really an investment, not only in like a monetary investment, right? But it's like an investment in your mind of like, you have to think differently. You have to move differently. Like it's a small thing that a lot of people don't, like working out is like a small part of like how your mind can just change from what you're currently doing to
Yeah.
where you want to go. And those are just little bits of work. Like working out's hard, right? Just like asking for help is hard, but like taking the step is really easier than I think a lot of people think it is. We just get in our own heads about it.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I mean, as cheesy as it can sound, because I've been there where I'm like, dude, getting around other people, is that really going to make a difference? I promise you it will, because there are perspectives and beliefs that you hold right now that are keeping you at the current level that you're at. And most of it is beliefs. And I remember my first mentor and coaching program I got into, it was like, you can charge that much? Like, really? For like that little amount of work?
Yeah.
Because you're providing value to a client? I was like, you can do that, right? So
Wow.
it blew my mind. And like just that little perspective shift of like, oh my God, like you can actually do that is huge for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people get into the program. They're like, dude, there's people doing 100K deals in here. Like, what the heck? I would never like, that's overwhelming for me. That's a lot, right?
It really is.
Which is good because it's like, you can put yourself in a place where you can get around people who are charging more than you, and I think that is absolutely huge. And those like simply just the perspective shifts are huge.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I will be right back, guys. I gotta let my dog in. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. Absolutely. But no, I really think it does come down to really getting in the room with the right types of people and then getting people who are ahead of you. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people just neglect that aspect, and people stay stuck for a long time because they don't want to get outside help. So, I mean, that's the thing I see, and I think it really is important to be able to get in rooms with people who are doing more than you, and they can say, "Hey, you're doing this wrong. You're doing this wrong," because they've already seen the path ahead of you. You know what I mean?
No, I totally agree, wholeheartedly, man.
And let's talk about like resources and kind of like being resourceful too, because this is something I saw one of my buddies post, and I was like, "This is awesome. I love this." And I think a lot of people are like, I can't get the help I need, or I can't do something because I don't have the resources. But I think that's the mindset that ultimately keeps people stuck, instead of saying, how can I be resourceful to find a way to make something work, right? Whether it's investing in a program or doing something within your business. It's easy to just give up and say like, nope, I can't, I don't have the resources, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to say I'm resourceful,
Yeah, I mean, it's simply like, it's like taking out a loan. Like if money is the thing,
Yep.
like people don't even know how to take out a loan or like know where to go to be able to do that. They don't even think that's really an option.
Yeah.
Right. Unless they're presented with the option. But people don't think like, oh, I can do that so that I can take the next step.
Yeah.
And for most people, that is the next step. Like there's not a lot of people walking around who can just afford a high ticket program right out of the gate.
Yeah. I couldn't when I started, man.
Me too. I mean, I think I'm just about done paying your loan back there, Eric. So
I mean but obviously that has paid off, and it's gotten deals, and it's like it's an investment. You know what I mean? So it really is. It comes down to like I had to put my first coaching program on a credit card because I didn't have the money for it.
Yeah.
Right? And like I made it work, and I made it happen, and like that stuff is invaluable to me. Like there's literally no way I would have gotten to where I was without all the mentors and coaching programs and things that I've invested in over my time.
Right.
And I think the other side of that too is like you kind of have this misalignment of who you are and who you want to be if you're not willing to spend a lot of money on yourself and your business and investing in the right team and the right people and the right consulting and the right coaches, like it's really difficult to then go around, turn to a client and say, hey, I'm going to charge you $50K for this project. Because like if
Sure.
you yourself haven't invested in you, like you are an asset. It's like saying, hey, I put no money into this house, but I want you to pay $1 million for it. And it's worth 100K.
Well, it's just what people want today. They just want the answer. And
Yep.
it still doesn't work like that. Like
Mm.
if you were, you know, attracting like videographers or whatever, and it was like, hey, you're gonna come to my program, I'm just gonna give you all of the answers. Your program would be worth a lot more than it is.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's what most people want. They just want I mean, yeah, we're giving them the blueprints and
Yeah.
somewhat of the shortcuts, right? But they just want the answers. And that's not even how programs like ours here. I mean, that's not how they work, right? Like
Yeah.
we're laying foundations to teach skills for them to do better for themselves.
Yeah.
And that's what, you know, I think a lot of people, they get a course, they buy something, they buy a program, they do whatever, and then they don't do anything with it because they don't feel like they're getting the quote unquote the right answers, right?
But it's not
just-
about giving you the
well, it's like you
answers,
said, it's
about-
like looking,
Yeah.
you got to look inward at it, right? And looking inward is really constantly find
Oh.
answers.
There we go. I think your mic was cutting for a second. I got you
Oh.
now. No, but
Gotcha.
you're right. I think it is. A lot of people want the shortcut. And yes, there is a faster path, but you also have to be willing to do the work to get there and take full
Mhm.
responsibility of your business. And like at the end of the day, if your business is not where you want it to be, it is nobody's fault but your own. And a lot of
Mhm.
people don't want to accept that. And
Yeah.
someone can give you all the answers in the world. They can say, do this, 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 and this. But if you don't have the right mindset about it and you don't truly believe you can do it, you're not going to do anything with it. Right.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yep.
it's like me giving you the perfect car for a race, but you believing like you can't drive and you can't win in the race.
Yeah.
You're going
Yeah.
to, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're going to put yourself in that position of not winning because that's what you believe.
agree.
Right.
Yeah.
And I
No,
think
no, I
a lot of
totally
people struggle with that confidence in themselves and they struggle with that. So then they are not able to get the results that they want because they don't believe they themselves can do it. You know?
Yeah. The confidence just comes from practice.
It does. Yeah. Just
That's all it is. It's literally just practice. If like sales is your bottleneck, talk
Practice.
to yourself in the mirror every day.
Yep.
Come into the program, talk to Dan, right?
Talk to Dan. Dan the man. Dude,
Yeah.
Dan is the goat.
Dude, Dan is a killer out there. I respect Dan so much. So
Yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it really is. It's like you people are like, well, how can I get this confidence? Well, it's by taking a step. And like, are you not going to be confident the first time you do it? Absolutely not. Right. But like, you're going to gain that confidence over time as you do the thing more. But like, there's no hack to being like perfectly confident the first time. You just have to do it. You know?
My current coach right now, he has this thing where he says, borrow my confidence.
Mm.
And like, he told me that this weekend, and I was like, or he told all of us that were at this thing this weekend, you know, if you're not confident, just borrow mine.
Yep.
And it'll show. Like if you just do move as I move, you will have success.
Yep.
But the moment that you stop or you get in your head about like, can I really do it or whatever? And I've gone through that stuff myself, like recently, where it's like, man, can I really do this? And it's like, you have to just kind of look yourself in the mirror and say like, yeah, I can, and do it. Like, there's no, like you were saying, there's no shortcut. Like that's like an instant, like, okay, I'm at the finish line. Like there is no finish line. Our finish line is us dying. That's not to be more like, but you know, that's just that.
No, you're right. It is 100%. And then guys, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. We're happy to answer anything more tactical as well. We just like talking about mindset because that's usually the foundation of why people aren't successful. And so like, it's not always the tactics. It's a mix of the tactics and not having the right mindset around what we're implementing here. And so if you have any questions about like, how do I get more leads? How do I get more sales? How do I get more clients? How do I close people? We can talk about pricing for a second and what we should be pricing ourselves at versus what we shouldn't. And we can get super nitty gritty and tactical on that stuff if you guys want as well. Just ask a question down below. And we are looking at those comments and we'll answer those for you. But Ethan, I'll kick it to you, man. What are some of the things that people struggle with around mindset when it comes to pricing? Because I've talked to a couple people that you've been coaching this week, and they're like, Ethan told me to raise my prices. right? Ethan told me to go higher on this. They think I'm priced too low. So what are some of the things people have limiting beliefs around on that front?
I think biggest thing that I see just across the board is, I haven't been able to charge this much. Well, have you asked for that much?
Yeah.
It's a very simple thing. It's like, well, I've been able to charge that much. Well, have you asked for it?
Yeah.
A lot of times it's no. A lot of times they haven't even asked for that amount of money, for 5,000, 6, 8, whatever it is a month. They haven't asked for it to start with. And I think that is a big leap in and of itself, is just asking for that amount of money.
Yep.
And and that's also like where, kind of the transition from like, the gig worker, freelancer, charging based on the outcome of things is a huge shift that a lot of people have. Is not just being like an order taker and charging based on their time, but what do I bring to the table in terms of results?
Right. Yeah. 100%. I mean, and that's where there's two different avatars, right? And we talk about this all the time, but it is the freelancer and then there's the business owner. And the business owner is somebody who leverages their time and leverages the other people to work with them to then buy back that time and be able to deploy that time into other things that are going to make them more money. The freelancer is somebody who is always trading their time for money. And for us, we help people get out of that rat race because it is very difficult when all you're doing is trading your time for money,
Yep, exactly. That, and then also like imposter syndrome too. Can I actually do this? Why am I the person that should be able to charge this much?
Yep.
It's all about what you can provide and what.
Evan, why do you think people have imposter syndrome?
It's tough, man, because when I started, I had it too, right?
Yep, me too.
I think it's just the fact that they've never seen it been done before, like in front of them. Like, we see it through the screens all day long, right? But there's a difference when you see it happen in real life, and then that's like kind of when the shift happens, where you're like, oh yeah, no, this is I don't want to say easier than I thought, but it was like I was making this harder than it had to be. And that's all it is we just get in our head because we haven't actually seen it happen. But it's like building a puzzle, right? It's like you get out of imposter syndrome when all the pieces are in the right place.
Yeah.
Right. Because then it's like, oh yeah, like it looks like the box does. So
I always think it's like you're like an imposter, or you feel like you're an imposter of your future self. And that's a good way to reframe it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you're meant for more, you should be better at this, but because you're not quite there yet, you feel like an imposter of your future self and who you should be. And so then you feel like you're an imposter of that. Doesn't mean you don't belong. It just means that you're not quite there yet. And you need to take steps to get there. And it never goes away. I'll be honest with you. Like, you don't think you can hit your first 50K a month till you hit your first 50K a month.
I got a comment on a piece of, like, I don't remember what I was talking about in a piece of content that I released like last week or something like that. But I was talking about, like, I don't remember exactly what I was talking about, but somebody commented on it. They were like, you get no views. What are you talking about? I was like, well, if that's the case, if I have to get views to talk about content, then nobody would ever really like be able to really talk about it, because you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, so I was like, it didn't really make sense. Like, but then, you go look those people's profiles and it's like their private
always
profile.
The one who has no profile picture.
Yes. And it's just like
cat and they're in their basement.
It's the lower status frame person. They're not as far as they want to be in life kind of thing.
Yeah. So they just take it out on other people.
Whatever. But
you're never going to be criticized by people above you ever.
Yeah. And those people are the ones that are probably really feeling the imposter syndrome.
Yeah. So they have to take it out on someone else to make them feel better. Make themselves
feel better.
Yeah. And I think the thing with views too, and this is something I've learned over the past year or so, it's like, we don't get a lot of views in our content, but we do at least 100K a month from just Instagram, like just our Instagram. So like we don't need a lot of pieces of content to go viral if you're hitting the right avatar with the content that you're creating, right? So like like a lot of people want to go super viral, but the problem is when you go super viral, you hit everybody and not everyone is meant to buy from you, especially if you're selling a high ticket service, right? Not everyone is qualified for that. Most people are broke. They don't have the money, so they can't afford to pay for it. So like you almost don't want to go viral because those people can't afford what you serve or what you sell. So like you want it to be targeted. I know Hormozy talked about this, but there was like some lady who does like insurance billing for like some sort of medical.
Yeah, she had like 5,000 followers. and
So-
maybe
She has 5,000 followers, is $1 million a
makes
year.
$100,000 a month or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she gets like 10 likes on her posts most of the time. But the
Doesn't
thing
matter.
is those are 10 people, right? Like 10
Mhm.
people that are watching. And as long as they are qualified people, then they will turn into a sale. So I think a lot of content creators are focused on going viral when you really need to be focused on creating content that resonates with pain points of your customer avatar. And then those people will then become customers of yours down the line,
No,
And
I
think
agree.
the other thing is, like, you talk about this a lot too, Evan, but it's like people don't usually practice what they preach when it comes to, if you're a content creator or you're a videographer or like a video business owner, but you don't have content about yourself, then like, what are you doing?
Why is somebody going to buy it from you?
Why is someone going to buy from you? You're a hypocrite when it comes to like the content, right? And that's one of the things we help our clients with, obviously. But like, if you don't have that, then why would I trust you to make content for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I'm going to try and implement for everybody that's in the program is focusing more on like personal brand
Yep.
in terms of like their name around everything, not just their business.
Yeah.
Because people will buy from a person faster than they'll buy from a business.
What are
So-
some things you put into like a personal brand? Like, how do you, let's kind of boil it down. Like, what is brand? What is that?
Personality. For me, it's personality. It's a bit of your messaging, right? So whom you want to be, like whom you want to attract. Like we always want to attract people that I think like our best clients are the ones that we resonate with the most, right? Like I wouldn't resonate with like a, I don't know, like a general contractor who's overweight and out of shape.
Yep.
Just wouldn't, right? Like I want to work with a guy that's maybe a fitness coach that wants more fitness clients.
Yep.
And he's, I mean, I'm not jacked, ripped, and shredded or anything like that, but you know what I mean? Like I like to work out and it's, it's cool. I can get on the same frequency level with them in certain aspects.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's what I look at it as just trying to target people that are most like us in the way that we think.
Yeah.
Like that's what makes for strong personal brand for me. Because those people on the other side of the screen are going to also resonate with you when you give off that same kind of impression.
Yeah. Well, I think the other side of it too is like, what are things you're interested in? Like name 5 top things that you like, right? Maybe you like shooting content, you like working out, you like diet and exercise, you like basketball, right? And it's like, just make your content around those things. It's not hard. So like if you're struggling with like, what do I make my personal brand about? Just make content about the things that you like that also resonate with your target audience, and you're going to attract people who like those things as well.
Yeah. There's enough. I think what a lot of people get caught up into is like they think that like there's like a finite amount of leads out here. Like and while that is technically true, there's so much room for everybody to make money out here that they think that they have to, like you were saying, go really, really wide. But the more that they actually can delineate down is they're going to have more success there.
Yeah. I heard something really good from someone else I know. And it's like you have 2 different buckets of people who create content. You have content creators like Mr. Beast, like Eric, some of these large guys, and they're doing stuff that reaches the masses. And the way they monetize their brand is by, brand deals, maybe selling something on the back end of that. But the things they sell have to be appealing to a wide market of people, like the general public. So like it has to be usually something that's really cheap and it doesn't cost a lot of money. And it's something that most people are interested in, like food, Mr. Beast with Feastables, right? You have, some sort of like productivity type stuff, mindset stuff, just very general type products. And then you have people who are the kind of entrepreneur is the way I heard it, where it's like they're a content entrepreneur and they are a business owner that sells a service, and then they make content for that specific avatar around that specific service.
I saw that from somebody else too. Logan Forsyth, I think is his name.
Okay.
He was saying that in a piece of content. He said the exact same thing. He was on like a podcast with somebody who said the exact same thing. I was like, oh, that's a good way to think about it.
But then you have those 2 buckets. So it's like, the content creators are going to make super viral content because they have to reach everybody. Right. Whereas the people who are the entrepreneurs who want to who want to create content don't need to get a lot of views because they just need the right views on the pieces of content. Right.
Sure.
And so that's kind of the delineation there.
And I'll say this too, which I think people have this like weird, like they have this weird thing about ads and paying for the impression, right? They think that it's inauthentic to do that. And it's like, no, that's how you make the money.
Yep.
Like if you want to put your content or your message in front of the right people, guarantee the impression and pay for the damn ad.
Yep.
That's it.
I
Like,
agree.
but everybody wants to do oh no, I want to do it organic or I want to do it viral. And it's like, okay, please set aside the next 10 years of your life to really figure that out. Cause that's what it's going to take you.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So,
or if you run ads like we do, then we get a bunch of content. Like we get a bunch of people who come from the ads, click on our profile and then see the content and then get looped in there, but it still comes from paying for the impressions. Correct. A lot of people are weird about that, like you said, but starting a brand new account with no followers from scratch with not paying for any marketing is really, really difficult. Like that is that will take you a very long time.
And I think social media, like other content creators, will have you think that it's really easy.
Yeah.
And it's not. Like it's really not. I mean, I'm living proof. I've been making consistent content for 3 years. I mean, I think my best video is maybe like 7K views organically. Yep. Like it's not
but
a
again,
lot.
you don't need a lot if you're targeting a specific market.
Right.
You know?
But everybody wants, you didn't do 2 million views, so you're not worth a damn. And it's like, okay, like, you know.
I mean, we've made millions of dollars. I've never had a video go over 14,000 views ever.
Doesn't matter.
Who cares, right? Yep. Yeah, 100%. Let's wrap up here, guys, because I have a call I actually have to run to in like 2 minutes here. But any other questions that you guys have, drop them in the comments. Anything around getting more clients, getting more leads, getting more sales, anything around scaling your video business, drop that below. But anything else that like Ethan, you see from clients or things that people really struggle with when they're either starting to grow their business or they're at like a high level within their video business?
In terms of mindset or just anything in general, I mean, I'd probably say, you know, charging more, asking for more is a big piece of it. And I know we've talked about this a lot, you know, charging more is profit margins are a big thing. And make sure you're not just breaking even on stuff, right? Paying crew and whatever for
70% margins on those packages. Make sure you have that. Yep.
Well, that's what I was going to say too. When you just said that is, you know, hiring people on your team. Most people don't want to give up like the editing, right? It's like, oh, nobody can edit like I edit. It's like, yeah, they can. You just have to find the right person.
Yeah.
You have to coach
challenging sometimes, but like that's a part of the process. That's how you're going to grow. That's how you're going to scale.
Yep. Yeah. I was talking to Teddy about that on our live on Tuesday, but it's like what got you to 20K a month is not what's going to get you to 100K a month. And I can tell you that from personal experience. When I first got to 20K a month, I was doing everything myself. When I got to 100, 200, 250 a month, like I had to hire a team and have other people who did stuff for me because I can't physically do all that work myself. It's just not possible. And you have to be able to work through other people to get things done because you only have, you know, maybe 8 to 10 working hours a day. There's only so much you can get done. And there's only so far you can split your attention between all these different things. Right. And that's super, super key. We have a question here. I'm not even a freelancer yet, just a podcaster. Where do I start? Evan, you maybe want to take this one.
So I have a podcast too. My advice for podcasters that are just starting is don't get caught up in thinking that you have to have these like 1 hour long podcasts.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Right? Like take that hour, break it up into 4 like 15-minute chunks. And you'll be surprised at how much more you can do because you can take an hour every day now and you can make 4 episodes. And that's how you're going to grow faster through it. But in terms of podcasting, planning is going to go a long way, like taking an hour to plan those 4 episodes so that you're not just getting up there rambling. That's going to help you out a lot, but make it a video podcast for sure. That's going to help with other styles of content as well. And use AI where you can in terms of like things like Opus Clip or something to help you generate more of that content faster. So you're not having to sift through it manually.
100%. Absolutely. Another one was, how can we start working with a brand we really like? Evan, you want to take that one again?
Well, it kind of depends, right?
Yeah.
First, you have to approach them That has to be the first thing. You have to get either in some kind of, connection with them. You've said it before also too, Eric, it kind of depends on where you're at. But if you have to do free stuff or like a spec project or something to kind of prove that worth to them, that might be something that you have to do. It sounds like maybe that's where this person might be at if they're, having trouble there. But first you have to approach them and you have to see what it looks like to, just be able to start that kind of conversation. And that honestly would be your first step, is you have to figure out who to reach out to.
Yep. So figure out who you want to work for, or who, like, make a list of those top clients that you want to work for, and then reach out, offer it. Like, if you don't have any portfolio pieces, I think you said, especially if you don't have any portfolio pieces, if you don't have any portfolio pieces, 100%, you need to either work for them for free or make some spec stuff that looks like it is for that industry or sector, right? And then the most important part is getting a case study with those people and really making sure that you are showing them that you can get them some sort of result. So
exactly right there.
Yep, 100%. Well, cool, guys. Anything else before we wrap up here?
No, man. I got a bunch of leads that are hitting my DMs right now, so I got to go. I got to get on my phone and go through it. So
you are good. Well, awesome, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. We do these every Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments, and we will see you guys next Tuesday. See you guys.
Hey.
And it's all I need. Everything I wanted. It's in front